Hey there, it's David H. Lawrence the 17th, and today I want to talk to you about something that we all have. We can't really avoid it, but we can be careful how it is used and how it rises up to either help us or hurt us. And what I'm talking about are our personal biases. So we have bias against everything, and we have bias for a lot of things as well. And these biases are actually useful because as over time, they prove their worth, they prove their truth, they prove their falsity. We can use those to arrive at decisions faster. The thing is that sometimes we have a bias that isn't really true. And so we have to be careful that when we talk about our decisions on things, that if we're basing them on biases that we have, that those biases have been tested. So there is one question that you can ask when you spot check yourself. Like you make a decision and you go, okay, I made this decision because I think this. So the one word question that you want to ask yourself is, and? So what happened was there's a famous study that was done where there were two resumes side by side, exactly the same. One of them had the name of the person who the resume belonged to, very neutral, nondescript, non-ethnic. And then the other was a series of ethnic names, foreign names, urban names, Hispanic names, etc. And they asked a large group of people, would you hire this person? And I guess you can guess what the results were, that the nondescript names had a much higher acceptance rate than the names that were different, that were foreign, that were members of minorities or were Muslim or Hispanic. There were just all of these socioeconomic and racial groups that are at risk of this sort of judgment and bias. They didn't fare so well. And when you ask yourself, why is it that you did that? You say, well, that name to me didn't feel like it fit for this job. And you have to ask yourself, and why is that? Because you have to be able to understand the truth behind something to be able to find it useful. Otherwise, you can make big, huge mistakes. And believe me, this is something that other people have used both for me and against me as I've built my business. Some of you may know that I teach a method of recording audiobooks that's different from Punch and Roll and Pro Tools. I recommend a particular USB mic to use if you're making a decision at the beginning of your career. And even if you're currently doing it, I use the AT2020 USB Plus all the time. And people instantly make judgments based on their bias of, you have to have a great microphone. You certainly can't do anything but Punch and Roll in Pro Tools. And so you have to ask yourself, and now that you've come up with that decision, what makes that true? Do you have experience using that mic? Do you have experience with my process completely, not just what you've heard from somebody who thinks they know what the process is? And this isn't just about technical stuff and business stuff. Like you might think to yourself, I'm too old to be successful. It gets into the whole limiting belief thing that I did in the Believe series last fall as we record this. Too old to be successful? And? So think about this as you make decisions based on your rules, the biases that you have. Always ask and then try to be as complete and truthful and accurate as you possibly can as you complete the answer to that question. I think that'll help you make decisions a lot better, and it'll encourage you to go find out more about that which you are biased both for and against. I'm wondering what your biases are. When have you found yourself going, oh, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have made that decision because I had the wrong impression. Biases rear their ugly heads with many different words and phrases. Have you had that happen to you? Have you had it happen where you've tested your bias and found it to be false and changed your mind? Let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. We're doing one of these videos a day, and I would love to hear from you. I heard from somebody last night. I was at SAG-AFTRA for a podcast session, and a young lady came up to me, Alejandra Reynoso. She came up to me and she said, "Hello, hey Alejandra. I love hearing. I just love hearing from people, and I appreciate you saying the kind words that you said. And I love getting feedback. So in the comments below, let me know. If you have any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer them as well, and we can also answer them in upcoming videos. If you want to subscribe to my channel and know when a new video is coming up, just go ahead and click on my head or find the subscribe button somewhere on this page. If you want to see the latest video I've done, go ahead and click on that frame there and it'll play for you right away. That's what YouTube does. I'm David H. Lawrence the 17th, and I thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.